Welcome back to the Outcast Trading Channel. My name is Io, and today we'll be doing a weekly update for Bitcoin. So this is a CME chart on the weekly, as we usually start. This last weekly candle closed right at the bottom of the blue box that we have drawn over here. Is making it possible for some bullish divergence, I imagine. Let me check. Between this point and this point, yep, definitely. Between this point and this point, definitely. Yep. So several bullish drives, several drives of bullish divergence are possible. If that were confirmed with a nice green candle over here, we could expect at least a bounce to the top of the range, maybe. In theory, the actual target should be the weekly 21 exponential moving average. Do I think it gets up there? It could. However, it might be that the actual 21 comes down in a couple weeks and meets the price around the top of this range area, or this blue box territory. Anything more on the weekly? Stokes are on the floor. They've actually, will they turn up? Not sure, not yet. We need a couple more ticks, I think. We're still living below the 200 simple, 200 exponential, 10 simple, 21. It looks bearish, but we're still at support. So that's what I can say on the weekly. Let's go on to the daily. The daily, you can see here, we're still at support. This won't change. We're still living below the 21 EMA on the daily, below the point of control. Of course, below the 55. There was some bullish divergence that played out to the 55. And there should be some bullish divergence over here, if I'm not mistaken, between this point and this point. Correct, yep. There's definitely some bullish divergence between these 2 points. And the target should be around the daily 21, which is at around $20,000 for now. This should also make Stokes curl back up. RSI should break this EMA, and it should look like a nice little bounce. This is technically not confirmed yet, but it's looking likely. If we do see that bounce, I would look for those targets. Let's see. Let's look at the 12-hour. 12-hour. Any bullish divergence? No. I mean, there's some phantom over here between this point and this one that did play out to the 21. So this point, this point, this point, this point. The target was met at the daily 21 and back down. Did it make hidden bearish divergence on the way down between this point and this point? Yes, it did. But that kind of really played out to this bottom of this range, at least to the bottom of this candle over here. So those things have already played out. We're looking now at some possibly, yeah, I mean, the 12-hour bullish divergence has already played out. I would be looking at the daily for that. So let's look at something that was asked in the Discord by Ali was, how do I make these blue boxes? What criteria do I use? At least for the bottom one, that's what he asked. And in this case, the 12-hour shows me this bottle of this candle, which is the bottom candle, the last candle. And then I look for another support above that candle, which in this case is this thing over here. It's not always that easy. It's more of a nuanced kind of approach to these things, but you look for a first support and a second support, and that's where you kind of gauge where you would draw a box. And I use bodies. You can use wicks, but normally bodies is the way to go. On the 12-hour, it works out, and also I think on the 4-hour also should work out. Yeah, correct. There's a candle close here and candle closes here. So that's how I use this, and then of course it's respected here several times, and it's respected here, kind of. It's the more time the more time that has passed, the less accurate it becomes. But in this case, it's still holding. This blue box is still holding, and I use the 12-hour in this case because it's the most accurate. Yes, we did have some a break and then a break above over here. So again, it's not the most accurate box, but it's around there. Then let's look at the 4-hour. Why not? This kind of consolidation over here was weekend price action, which or even after the Wednesday that we had the event driven price action, that was an up and a down, and then back to where it was before the event. After that, it's just become very boring, to be honest. It's been pretty flat. I'm just playing around this $600 range, I think, from 19.5 to about 18. Yeah, no, it's actually $1,000 range, but it's been pretty boring, to be honest. Of course, that could change. I think that today it has already done a bit of a move, but it's still at support. So I expect it to go either break or to come back up a little bit. I don't think it can stay in this kind of little small range for too long. Let's go to spot. I think on spot I can show it a bit better. Yep, this blue box is still here. It's actually a bit more accurate on spot. It's held pretty well. I did draw this symmetrical triangle because I was giving a bit of an example. It looks like it's broken, but again, it still hasn't closed above. It's only it looks like it wants to close above, but it's still 18 minutes to go. We have a bit of a range, I would say, between let's draw it out. In this area, at the bottom of the blue box, and this area over here at 19.5, which is what I was saying. Around 18.5 to 19.5 is where price action has been stuck for the past few days. I'm still short. That's, again, I forgot to mention that I'm still short from over here. I actually took a long at $20,000 and with an invalidation around 19.8, so $200 risk. I took my position off, and then I looked to take the other side after a bounce. I took the 421 and took most of it off by 18.5. I still have 10%, and looking for a break of this blue box. If I don't get it, well, I'll just get stopped out, and it is what it is. But I'm holding it. I'm in no rush to put it in more risk or anything like that. I am good. I got most of it out. Most of my profits are locked. At this point, I'm just letting it run. What else can we talk about here? For our 200s, for our 200 EMA and SMA, those show us our bias. We are below. Normally that is bearish. Same as the 12-hour 21. Which is right here. We are still below. That is another sign of bearishness. Again, bias is bearish. However, we are at support. So what does that mean? It means that if you are playing this big range that has been since June, you should be longing. If you are not short yet, you are bearish, you might have to wait patiently for an entry, because here you'll be shorting support. Although the 12-hour 21 has been a good entry for the last few days or even a couple weeks. Yeah, I would say a week and a bit. It's been a pretty good entry. But again, if you see this area over here, you look at you're at support. So shorting this with having all this part of this range that is just pretty much a vacuum, and it's really if price action actually breaks this area, you would be looking for a tap to the top of the range, or at least a 618. Let's draw that out and see if it lines up with anything between this point and this point. It lines up with a 12-hour 200 simple. That makes sense. It also has a bit of a ledge over here on the daily, just past the 55. Yeah, this is the same ledge over here that I was talking about. It's a little further down. This one actually aligns with the 55. So if it does bounce, it has a lot of different resistances to go through. But given that we do have bullish divergence on the daily, I would expect that at least the first target would be the daily 21 around 19.7. That is not too far away, and it's not much to ask for. After that, I would look for the 55, which is 20,700, which of course naturally would be coming down day by day. And the 618, of course, that would be the third target. And if it actually wants to go to the top of the range, that would be a different story. What else can I see here? Yeah, I don't want to go any lower. I could go to the 1 hour and talk about what happened today. But I think it might be wasting people's time because it looks like just a very boring consolidation over the weekend that had a bit of volatility increase today, right before pre-market. But there's not much to add to that. So I think I will give my final thoughts on price action and what I expect what my views are on the market and what I think that it might be working towards. So we are still at support, which means that we cannot be shorting down here. Does that mean it won't break? No, it could break, and the whole market sentiment is really saying us that it could break, given the market sentiment in general, world markets. Everything looks towards more bearish situations. However, until this breaks, I cannot say that that it's fully bearish. If it does break, we are looking towards excuse me. We're looking towards around 13, I would say 14.5, 15K would be the first kind of stop. And then these 13 and 12K levels. Again, there has to be a catalyst before that, which I thought it could be last week's Fed decision. That was not the case. Which, if that cannot break this range, I am looking towards the range not breaking at all or just yet, which would mean that I am looking towards a bounce, and I think that is more appropriate to look for. Again, if it breaks, it breaks. I will be bearish. If it doesn't break, which is what I'm looking towards it happening, which is just another bounce of the support, it's just this consolidation continuing for now, which again is the targets that I said, the bullish divergence of the 21, of the daily up to the 21 EMA, the 55, the 618, all this kind of situation for the next few days. I think that without a catalyst, this range won't break. Again, I might be wrong. I might be making an update in a couple of days, being like, "Oh, it actually did break," and there was no news or anything like that. It was just regular price action. That can happen. I'll be honest, that has happened before. But again, I cannot be bearish at support. At least I cannot short support. I am bearish overall. But I cannot say that this will break because we are still at support and support is being held. Am I missing anything? I think that is all I wanted to cover today. If you have any questions, let me know in the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, click on the link in the description. We have a wonderful community there and a trading course in the works that will be amazing. So if you enjoyed it, give the video a like, subscribe, join the Discord as I said before, and stay tuned for more content. Thank you very much, and see you soon.